I was awake until 3 or 4. I watched television until midnight, then I opened a book. I haven't been eating, and I find it hard to get regular sleep. I took notes from the book, because it's my habit to take notes when I read. The room was hot, and I couldn't find the thermostat, so I opened the window. I drew back the curtains and saw fog rolling in. It came swiftly, and in patches, and it created the sensation of flying, of the hotel flying through clouds. The fog thickened in a hurry. I put my book and my notebook on the little round table by the window and leaned my arms on the windowsill, and I felt as though I was piloting the hotel. I stood there for a long time. It was freezing outside, but the air refreshed and calmed me. The hotel was a lot like an American motel, low and sprawling, with a big parking lot. Street lamps shined copper-colored light brightly on a handful of cars. After a while, I couldn't see the cars. There was just a fast-moving fog that had copper-colored lights distantly within it. I left the windowsill. I closed the curtains, but not the window. I left it slightly cracked. I took my shirt off. I took my socks off. I'd been wearing those socks forever, and taking them off made me drowsy. I fell asleep on the end of my bed, with my pants still on, legs off the bed, feet on the ground, like I'd been drinking. Around 5, there was a knock on my door. It was my father. He couldn't sleep, he said, and was thinking about heading to the airport. He was distressed. There wasn't any point trying to convince him he needed the sleep. The shuttle bus driver was asleep on the couch in the hotel lobby. He was a little man in a big black jacket, a jacket with a furry hood, and I felt bad about waking him. My father and I stood over him for about a minute, watching him sleep. I could see that he was dreaming about his wife or someone he loved, and that it was a good dream. And I could also see that he had good dreams very rarely, that normally he had nightmares, normally he could not sleep. I knew that when we woke him, he would hate us. So I did nothing, and my father did nothing. But our proximity to him must have made its way into his dream as a dark force. Perhaps suddenly his wife was drowning. He opened his eyes in a panic but did not move. There we were, standing in front of him, over him. The lobby was dark and empty, though there were a few people making noise in the restaurant where breakfast was. The driver was small, slight, younger than me, but not by much. He was Turkish for sure. He had black hair and dark brown eyes, and had a very subtle mustache. We told him we needed to get to the airport. We had our bags, we had checked out of the hotel, and we were ready to go. For a little while he didn't understand that we were reality, that his dream had ended. When he did, he sat up straight, coughed, and shook his head, and swallowed the cobwebs in his mouth. He suggested we wait. The conditions were treacherous, he said. I explained to him that it was urgent, and he didn't argue. We walked outside into the freezing and fogged-over morning. I told him his jacket looked warm, and he said it was, yes, warm. I couldn't see the shuttle. I couldn't see anything in the parking lot. I could barely see. Behind us, the glass doors we had walked out of. The driver went ahead. We heard a door open and the engine start, then the headlights came on, as though from far away. But they were right beside us. The driver jumped out and grabbed our bags and threw them in the back. My father's was an old, heavy burgundy suitcase, one of a set of bespoke cases he'd received half a century ago as a wedding present. It was in pretty dire shape, but that seemed to be what he liked so much about it, and why he refused.